Evening people, evening people. Blimmin' flipping technology, eh? Streaming systems going all messed up again. Alright, so just seen the We Are Driven intro, We Are Driven team still pushing Archie's journey, still pushing Bradley Lowry Foundation. Make sure you get over to Facebook, click all those like buttons, go find out what's happening. Get yourself over to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's journey and drop donations on there if you can as well, please. And then get yourself over to We Are Driven and find out what's happening up there. Big shout out to the channel sponsor as well, Woody's Wondrous Chilies. Lifetime supply of hot sauce for myself. Appreciate it. Cheers, buddy. Back tonight then with round 4 of the Team Oliver Racing Gr3 League. We're not watching the trucks, don't worry. It is the big heavy cars in the Gr3 class. Let's have a look at some scores, shall we? Let's make that a little bit bigger and that a little bit bigger, because colours didn't listen to me last week. So, leading the way after round 3 last week at Nürburgring GP, Gecko Racer takes the lead at the minute with 74 points on board. We've got RAA Bobby, he takes second, 73 points. We've got LVO Tricks in third with 65 points. Potomac Pot, he's got 48 points for 4th. Jambu is in 5th with 46 points. Philo 6th with 44 points. We've got Britzberger in 7th with 43 points. Is that 43 points? Yeah, it's 43 points. Phil G in 8th. He's got 39 points. Ace Killer in 9th with 36 points, alongside Fat Pickles Bro also on 36 points. G Marge, he's got himself 11th with 28 points. Brinky is 12th with 23 points. Millerman is 13th with 20 points. Diablo is 14th with 15 points. And yeah, no sign of HG again. So not racing in this league anymore by the looks of it. Merch still available, t-shirts and stickers. If you want any of those, hit me up. Still got that available. dartsmoker@googlemail.com if you fancy any of that. Let's get ourselves into this lobby then. A little bit delayed with the technology issues. Apologies, people. Let's have a quick look, see who we've got in the room. So we've got Potomac Pot, Fat Pickles Bro, Gecko Racer, Britzberger, Phil G, Marge, Brinky, Vortex Racing, in place of ADG, LVO Tricks, RA Bobby, Ace Killer, RA Philo, LWR Millerman, and NGR Jambu. That's who is racing tonight. So you can see on the screen there, we are at Red Bull Ring. First race is in the wet. Everybody is going to be taking it very, very tentatively through turns. All of them, all the turns they'll be taking tentatively, because you'll slip out on any of these. It's a tricky little circuit. Right, let's get ourselves in. LVO Tricks spinning the wheels up a little bit, coming out of, I don't even know where he is, turn 2, has he just come through? Yeah, he's heading down towards turn 3. Let's put the nonsense on instead of you looking at a great big black square. And who have we got just about to cross the line? Okay, Bobby's coming through. Let's get ourselves on board with Bobby for a little bit of an onboard lap around Red Bull Ring. Let's go for a bit of an outboard view, not an onboard. Evening people, how are we all doing? So across the line he goes, hanging over to the left hand side of this circuit. You can see spitting up the rain, sliding it into turn 1. Got to be careful of these big yellow curbs as well. Happily throw you off the circuit. Struggling to get the power again. Down again is Bob as he heads down the hill towards turn 2. Again, hanging over to this left-hand side, grabbing as much curve as he dares in this wet conditions. Hard on the brakes. Again, tentatively round turn 2. Tightest turn on the circuit. Again, struggling to get the power down. These rear-wheel drive cars. No traction control. Into turn 3. Just so slow. You so want to get on the power, but you can't. You'll throw yourself straight in the sand. To turn 4 then. Just hugging those curbs. Trying to, ooh, back end goes a little bit loose for Bob. Catches it though. Again, just getting the power down. You can hear the car struggling to actually get up to speed. The wheels just spinning up every now and then. Last couple of turns to go then. Easy part to run wide here. Easily to pick up penalties. Yeah, so 2 races. It is race 1 is the wet and race 2 is in the dry, unfortunately for you lot. And that is the final turn. Bob goes across the line on a fastest lap so far, actually, 1:38.3. Perfect time to go on board with Bob. That's enough of you though, Bob. From that view for a second anyway. So it's just ahead of Elvio. He's just gone a little bit wide through the final turn, but maybe losing a bit of fuel by the looks of it. He's got himself second with a 1:38.541. Gecko Racer, not that far back either, 1:38.884. Half a second back from Bob. Jambu 1:39.0 for 4th. Potomac Pot 5th. He's got a 1:39.1. Fat Pickles Bro 1:39.2. G Marge, he's got himself 1:39.3 for 7th. Phil G 8th, 1:39.3. Ace Killer in 9th, 1:39.7. So we're already 8 minutes into qualifying then. 1:39.8 for R.A. Philo, he's on a fuel burning mission. Brinky, he's got himself 12th, 1:40.4. Maybe he's struggling in that big heavy M6. Millerman 13th, a 1:40.7. Vortex Racing. Sliding it through turn 3. 1:41.3 for him so far. What have we got? Oh, so 6 minutes left of quali. Free choice of tyre in race 1 as well due to the wet conditions. You can go in as many times as you like, pick wets or inters. Obviously you don't want to be on racing slicks or mediums or hards or anything. Elvio still out. Into the pits he comes though. Bobby just coming out of the pits, fresh tyres. Gecko Racer coming out, fresh tyres. So out laps for these boys. Potomac Pot still on a hot lap. A little bit of wear on those tyres. Rob, evening, how are you doing? Or is this Jordan stolen Rob's account? Which one is it? G Marge, evening brother, how are you? Where is the Marge stuff? There he is. So 1:39.3, sitting in 9th at the minute in the Mercedes. Burning fuel off as well. So Bobby holding on to that pole position at the minute. M3, a popular car in this league. Elvio in the Jag in 2nd. Gecko, he's in the Mustang in 3rd. Another M3 in 4th for Jambu. Potomac Pot in the Corvette. Burger, are you in the M3? Yes you are. Phil G, another M3. Fat Pickles is in an M3. Where were we? Britzberger. Go back to you, Fat Pickles. Phil G just coming out of the pits. He was in the M3G. Marge in the Mercedes. Brinky, he's in a BMW with the M6, bigger version of the M3. Ace Killer, he's gone for the Skyline. He's not done too bad with it, to be honest. Coming in the pits himself. Another Jag for Philo. Vortex Racing is in the BMW. You've got the M6 as well, have you? Yeah. And Miller Man, what were you racing in? Another Mercedes, was it? Yes, it was. Big German contingent then, apart from a couple of Jags and Ace Killer in the Nissan. Datsun, shall I say? Shadow, evening. Good luck to all who are racing. Yeah, big shout out to the boys over in Pro-Ams as well. Middleman sticking it in the sand. And back into the pits for him. So we have got the pros, you're watching with me, and we've got the Pro-Ams as well. Unfortunately not being streamed live. We have got the commentator actually racing, so he's racing from his point of view over at D.90 on Facebook. But he will be doing the post-race commentary Friday evenings live again over on Facebook, so don't forget to go and check that out. Friday night. I don't know what time, but it's usually Friday night. Bobby. What are we? 12, nearly 12 and a half minutes into qualifying. Bobby's holding on to this pole position. Still got a few boys out burning fuel, I think. Right, Fat Pickles went quicker, didn't he? 138.6. Did get himself into third, but Gecko Racer has just come through to put 138.6 in just in front of him. 691 versus 626, yeah, so just. LVO still holding second. Jambu being nudged down to fifth. Ultimate Pot 6th. Blitzberger 7th. Phil G in 8th. Just got to be so careful in these wet conditions, trying to get the power down. Especially when you see the other drivers that, you know, they get a bit of traction and they pull away, like, ah, put the power down more, and then no. And then no more power, just got pirouetting. Hence the ballet in the post earlier. Brinky then 10th on 39.3. Ace Killer 11th. 139.5 for Ace Killer. I8 Philo, he's got a 139.8. Vortex Racing 13th, 140.2. And Millerman 14th, no score on, what is he, 2.1 back from Bob, so that puts him on a 140.1 then. So still a couple of minutes left of quali, well about a minute actually. Still opportunities. Bob's going to see another lap. Fat Pickles is going to see another lap as well. So Jambo in front, I think he's going to see it. Yeah, he's just crossed the line, so he's going to get another lap. LVO may make it. May make it. Drivers off track at turn 2, just sitting the end of qualifying out. Staying well clear of the racetrack, that's good. So it's going to be Gecko Racer who's going to be the first to cross the line as the time ticks over. Well, unless he sticks it in the wall in the next few turns. Third, 138.6, off a little bit sideways through turn 4. Out of that little complex is tricky as well. Difficult to get the power down on the way out. Just leaving this turn here. Trying to get that power down. The same out of turn 2 as well. It'll be chaos tonight, really. Going to see some incidents, I can pretty much imagine. Right, what are you going to stick in, Gecko? Is it any quicker? 36, 137. No, holds you third. A little bit quicker on his personal lap time, but not enough to beat. Oh. Naughty. Elvio Tricks on that last lap as he was coming round. Just decided to chuck in a 138.2, nipping Bob's pole position off him. Almost a 10th as well, so Bob into second then. Jambu third, he's gone quicker. 138.5. Everyone having a good go right at the end of qualifying. Gecko's holding fourth, 138. Got a couple of drivers still coming over. Fat Pickles is holding fifth. Potter has parked up, so he's sixth. Blitzberger's going to be seventh. G 8th, G Marge 9th. Winky in 10th, Ace Killer is in 11th, R8 Philo is 12th, Vortex Racing is 13th, and Millerman is 14th. That is going to be your lineup. As we see G Marge getting a little bit sideways in the background of this shot. There he goes, drifting through turn 2. Go and find him. Oh no, he's flopped it. Thought we were on for a good show then, G Marge. So just waiting for lobby host to set the grid order. Reset all the settings, etc, etc. Get ourselves into race 1. I forget how many laps. Ben, evening, how are you doing? Just watching G Marge trying to peel a set of intermediates out. Free t-shirt to anyone that does. Potter, don't hold this lobby up for like half an hour now, alright? Phew. Saved. Right, where is this? So it is going to be 14 laps. We start with a full tank of fuel, and as I said earlier, they can start with any tyres they want. Well, obviously wets or intermediates. You don't want to be playing about with anything else. Andre, evening brother, how are you? Nice to see you back in the stream. Good luck, my son. Keep it on the black stuff. Yeah, well, he's got to avoid the wet stuff on the black stuff to keep it on the black stuff. So yes, no mandatory pit stop in race 1. Race 2 will be in the wet. Sorry, in the dry. Race 1 is in the wet. Wait for these lights to drop. They're away now then. Elvio Tricks gets a good start. Bobby gets a handful of wheel spins, so he loses a lot of ground. Gecko Racer comes through. Jambu comes through. Bob has to slot in behind. Oh, he just keeps his nose in front of Jambu there. Side by side, they head down towards turn 2. M3 versus M3 here. Gecko Racer being nudged down the road by Bob. Bob just gets in front. He's going to hold the advantage, I think. It's going to be tricky. Elvio's still holding. He's pulled a bit of a gap, actually. Want to keep an eye on this bumping and a barging through here. Gecko Racer, Jambu, Bob through cleanly. Gecko, yeah, there. Potter up the side of Bob now. Bob's not had a great start. Does move down to 5th. Is he going to hold it into turn 3? Potter's just got the advantage on the inside. But does Bob outbrake him? Can Bob hold the power running down towards turn 4? Oh, Potter's got the inside line, but Bob's doing well. Elvio's still leading. Jambu into 2nd, then Gecko 3rd, Bobby 4th, Potter 5th. Phil G into 6th, Philo 7th. We've got Fat Pickles in. Oh, Philo goes a handful of rear wheel drift coming out of turn 4. Holds onto it. Fat Pickles in 8th, then Brinky in 9th, Ace Killer 10th, Britzberger in 11th. We've got Vortex Racing having a go at G Marge. G Marge in, you can see in a minute, he's in 11th. Britzberger 12th, Vortex Racing in 13th, and Millerman 14th. Nobody fired themselves off track yet. So back up front, Elvio pulled 2 seconds already in lap 1. The bumping and a barging behind has caused a bit of a backlog. Jambu into 2nd, then Bobby back into 3rd, Gecko 4th, Potter 5th. Tail happy cars coming out of there. Turn 2 is the super tricky one. Gaps already starting to spread out. Penalties. Brinky's got a little bit. He's got to lose. Ace Killer's having a go up the inside into turn 2. Through he goes. Again, just struggling to get the power down. You can hear the wheels spinning up on these rear wheel drives. Brinky then loses a lot of time to Ace Killer through that. Just lose his penalty through there. Now puts himself under pressure from Britzberger behind. Still pulling Vortex Rating, G-Marge and Millerman with him. Elvio. He's put a squeegee on the front of his car so it just pushes the water out of the way of the tyres so he gets a dry track. That's what he's got. You lot didn't inspect his car, didn't put it through put it through scrutiny, did you? Isolating. Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm good, thanks. 2.4 seconds Elvio's got now then as we hit lap 3. Jambu holding that 2nd. Bobby still 3rd. Going for a faster line. He's grabbing as much of that curve as he possibly dares. Gets a little bit squirrely on the way out. Keeps in touch with Jambu though. Potter McPot into 4th. He's got himself past Gecko. Gecko into 5th. Phil G in 6th. Bright Orange BMW of Fat Pickles in 7th. Closing up on Phil G a little bit. Oof. Ace Killer. He's got turn 2 all wrong. Outbraked himself and he's unfortunately avoiding Philo. Where is Philo? Avoiding Philo. He's thrown himself into the unknown. Where's he gone? He's ended up quite far back, I think. Oh, Bobby's been taken out as well. Bobby's all the way down in 10th. Ace Killer's down at the back of the pack, unfortunately. Bobby and Ace Killer a lot of work to do then from earlier positions. So Jambu will be quite happy about that. He's got a little bit of breathing room now between himself and Potter McPot. Obviously everybody moves up a position or 2. Potter into 3rd, then Gecko Racer trying to hang on to the 2 American cars. Battle it out. Phil G then in 5th. What is he? 1.1 seconds back, dragging Fat Pickles, who is closing that gap up actually as Fat Pickles. Gets on it. We're getting a decent tow down here. Oh, Phil G gets a little bit leery on the way through there. He's lost a lot of speed. Oh, he's lost it on the way in front of Fat Pickles. Fat Pickles has had to put a big chunk of brake on. That's going to close the gap down between themselves and Brinky, who's now closing in 7th. Phil G got his hazards on, just like, oops, sorry mate. Oh, he's gone wide there as well. Fat Pickles comes through then. I think Phil G kind of allowed him to have that spot. So Fat Pickles up into 5th then. He was closing anyway. And that does bring Brinky into this fight now. Philo and Britzberger battling out for 8th and 9th, closing the gap on this battle for 5th, 6th and 7th in front. Bobby's still holding 10th, Vortex Racing 11th, Millerman 12th, G-Marge 13th, Ace Killer still at the back of the pack 14th. He's on the full wets. What's everybody else gone for? Let's have a run through from P1. Elvio's gone for the Inters. Jambu's gone for the inters. Potter's gone for the inters. Gecko's gone for inters. Inters for Fat Pickles. Inters for Phil G. Inters for Brinky. Seems to be the tyre. Depends what everybody else at the back is on. Philo's on the inters. Britzberger is on the inters. Oof, sideways Bobby is on the inters with a little bit of front end damage as well. Inters for Vortex. G Marge on the full wets. Millerman on the full wets. And Ace Killer on the full wets. Oof, Millerman sideways through turn 1. Loses that position to Ace Killer. Moves up a position then. Back up front, Elvio now 3.4 seconds lead. He's not messing about in the Jaguar tonight. Jambu as well, still well clear of Potter in third. 2.2 seconds back to Potter. Oh, Potter sideways through turn 3. Tight through turn 4 again, drifts it on the way out, keeps hold of it. This is just going to allow Gecko Racer to close up. Get ourselves on board with Gecko. Oof, Gecko getting a little bit sideways out of there as well. You can see they're just drifting sideways. A lot of Captain Ahabin at the wheel. Just having to coast it through some of these turns. They can't daren't put the power down, I think. Not can't, they daren't put it down as much as they want, but you'll end up backwards. So still 0.8 of a second between Gecko and Potter. To turn 1, Potter grabbing a big handful of curb. There are those yellow sausages. You don't want to be running over those really. They can, especially not at some funky angles, to spin you off track. Every opportunity of those things. Loses a bit of time then, Gecko to Potter. Does he gain it back through turn 2? Oh, Potter sideways. No, not really. Big heavy American cars doing well then. Train girder suspension or something on these things. Elvio 3.8. Jambu still pulling time over Potter. That gap yo-yo in between Potter and Gecko. Fat Pickles then 5th, 3.7 seconds back. Phil G 1.8 seconds back off of Fat Pickles now. Brinky just a second back. Bobby's gone up a couple of positions. He's now 3.6 seconds back from Brinky in 8th. G-Marge 9th. Ace Killer's moved up another position as well. He's into 10th. 3 seconds back. Then another 0.3 back to Vortex. He's dragging Millerman along as well. 0.4 of a second back. Philo's got it all wrong. He's now got damage down in 13th. Oh, looks like there's been contact between Britzberger and Philo. We're battling it out for 7th and 8th. Looks like there's been contact between the two. Big handful of damage on for Britzberger. A little bit on board for Philo. Philo's in the pits. Not sure Britzberger will be following him straight in. Can't finish a race on with your car in that condition. Elvio then. Getting everything right. 3.9 seconds over Jambu. Jambu now at 3.3 seconds over Potter. Still got Gecko Racer for company. On board with Potter then, looking back at Gecko. What you can see of him through the mist. Let me change that camera up. That wasn't very good, was it? Internal camera. That's just a great handful of spray and spoiler. Holding 4th then Gecko, still hunting down Potter. Keeps that gap at about 0.7 at the minute. Drifting it through this final turn. Very easy to get the car sideways out of there. Straight onto the grass, backwards, and that's you. Gecko not really making a dent into Potter's time here. Closes up a little bit through turn 1. Both drivers get a bit squirrely. That gap yo-yo's back out. So Philo's repaired back out on circuit, and unfortunately it looks like Britsberger's sitting this first race out with that damage. We have only got a couple of minutes left, and he would have ended up at the back anyway. So Elvio pulls more time up front, 4.4 seconds. Jaguar working to his advantage through here. Jambu handling the BMW well as well. Pot kept his composure. He's managed to keep Gecko Racer behind him. It could be a strategic ploy by Gecko. Top 3 carry over extra weight into, from race 1 into race 2. So that would be Elvio, Jambu and Potter, and then obviously Gecko could just sit behind Potter. Have a slightly lighter car. He starts in front of these 3 as well. So lap 9 of 14. Can Potter keep Gecko behind him? Come back and have a look. Elvio though, still impressively just not spinning the rears up on that. 1:38.2, another quick fastest lap as well, why not? If you can get pole and look to win the race, why not get fastest lap at the same time? Just take all those points. Jambu then second. Star Wars livery Potter third, Gecko fourth. Not many real battles. I think people daren't battle really in race 1. It's not. It's only going to end in tears really. As you've seen, few drivers managed to send themselves off. Phil G 6th. Key 7th. Has got Bobby closing up on him a little bit. Is he just 1.5 seconds back? So Bob ended up at the back of the pack alongside Ace Killer. G Marge just in the background there. Ace Killer now 10th, 2.9 seconds back from G Marge. There he is, just in front. Still got a couple of laps to try and gain that time back, but big old gap, that 3 seconds. As you can see, anything's possible here. Oh, we just catch Vortex Racing trying to handle that thing going through turns 5 and 6. The old M6 is a weighty, long old thing. There's Philo also getting it wrong somewhere with Britsberger, and both of them ending up in the pits with damage. Philo's back out though, but Britsberger's decided to stop in. It's all points on the board though, but it won't make any difference for Britsberger. So he would have ended up at the back of this race anyway with that damage and the amount of time he'd have spent in the pits getting that repaired. So just giving some glory time to current race leader Elvio. He has just put in fastest lap of a 1:38.2. Big shout out to race sponsors as well, Team Oliver Racing and Martin Oliver Transport, I suppose. Guys, Martin and Stuart over there putting their name behind it. Thank you. Big shout out to the channel sponsor as well, Woody's Wondrous Chilies. You like that, Andre? I'm ever allowed to come over again, I'll bring you a bottle. 6.2 seconds lead then for Elvio. Lap 11 of 14. Jambu just a tiny bit of time to Potter. Sitting second comfortably though. Potter third. Also pulled a couple of tenths on Gecko. Gecko out of that slipstream range. Again, tiny mistake by any of these drivers. Can cost you an awful lot of time to get back on track. Fat Pickles just chucking in purple sectors. Doesn't get turn 2 as cleanly as he'd like, I don't think. A little bit at the minute, 3.6 seconds in front of Gecko, so 3.8 seconds and 2.2 back to Phil G behind him. Brinky, yeah, Bob's pulled a couple of tenths on Brinky as well. Only was about 1.5 seconds the gap, I think, last time we looked. Now at 1. Brinky struggling to keep rear end of that BMW in check. Closing up on him. Down to 1.1, 1.2. Still a couple of laps left for people to make moves. G margin 9th, then 2.5 seconds back at the minute. On the wet tyre is G Marge. Ace Killer also out on the wet tyre into 10th. Yeah, getting it all wrong through turn 2 did Ace Killer. Not sure if anyone else was involved. I don't think they were. I'm sure Ace Killer just outbraked himself, or whether someone shunted him. No damage on his car, so Millerman in 11th. Yeah, Vortex Racing again in that big heavy M6, same as Brinky, just struggling to get the power down in that thing. Now rear end trying to let go. Minute down in 13th, and again Britzberger seeing the end of this race out in the pits. Elvio just getting himself past Philo. Oh, Philo's got it wrong. Ooh. Where are you, Philo? He has held it, he has held it. Nearly didn't though. To get himself on the grass all sideways, but yes, just corrected it before he actually lost it and spun it all the way around. So coming into lap 13 of 14, any fights on track. Elvio is 8.2 seconds in front of Jambu. Again, Jambu's lost a bit more time to Potter. Tyre wear looking almost identical. Potter's still got Gecko Racer behind him for 4th. Slight mistakes from Jambu, possibly 2 more laps. Jambu, that's all you've got to do. Rob, you've got to, if anything, you know, this league is one of the better ones. I'll tell you that. The sort of camaraderie and the everyone just gets on in the chat. There's practice lobbies open pretty much every night. You know, they've always got a chat open in the practice lobbies as well. There's loads of people giving advice out, setups. You know, they'll even sort of, okay, you make some changes to your car, you'll go out on track. These boys will sit and watch you go out on track, see what's happening, and then tell you to make changes, this, that and the other, and then tell you to go out on track again and watch what you're doing again. It's yeah, good bunch of lads, pros and pro-ams. Elvio then coming through to start his final lap. Let my coffee go cold. Got to keep it on the black stuff for another one then, LVO. Same for you, Jambu. That gap come down a tiny bit more, 2.2 seconds between Potter and Jambu. Gecko's closed that gap as well. There'll be a bit of flapping going on here. Oh, here we go. Jambu wants these two to have a little bit of a fight so he can keep that gap between themselves. Gecko closing up on Potter. Everybody else pretty close. Fat Pickles, no, Phil G's a little way back. Bobby's still hunting Brinky here for 7th. It's Killer having a race of his own, unfortunately. Millerman and Vortex have got a big enough gap not to be a threat, and Philo is halfway around the other side of the track. Potter then holding it so far from Gecko. Is Bob going to be able to get Brinky? No, Brinky's still in 7th at the minute. Let's get ourselves on board with LVO race leader. Comes around that final turn. Ooh, a little bit sideways. Flash of the lights. Just saying, I've got this. Got this, mate. Don't you worry about that. Thank you very much. First place, 10.3 seconds lead in the end. Jambu then comes through that final turn as well. He'll be another flash of the lights. So he'll be happy with 2nd. Potter McPot 3rd. Gecko Racer 4th. Crossing the line almost side by side. Fat Pickles comes through backwards for 5th. Phil G just drops his penalty. Takes 6th. Bobby does get past Brinky then into 7th. Mistake by Brinky. Brinky into 8th. G Marge was close to taking that position off him as well. Ace Killer through that final turn. Backwards for 10th. Millerman closes up but takes 11th. Vortex Racing is backwards for 12th. And Philo is into the pit wall for 13th. Yeah, Brisberger seeing that one out, picked up Purley. You can see his car in bottom left-hand corner, flashing away angrily. Ow! Why did you do that to me? Maybe Philo, I don't know. I'm just jesting. Could have been. But those two were racing close together, and all of a sudden they're both at the back of the pack with damage, which kind of, unfortunately, we can't see it. I don't know. There you go. Finishing positions. Good points there for LVO. Great points for Jambu as well. Are you 5th, Jambu? 6th or something? Vortex, evening. Back end of that thing was a bit happy, wasn't it? Eh? M6. Brinky was struggling as well with it, mate, so it's not just you. Unless the boys have fed you a duff setup each. They don't do that. They don't do that. Yeah, Potter taking 3rd. Bob was battling for those podium positions, but decided he'd much prefer to go and have it out with the lads at the back, so parked himself on the grass or something, and yeah, managed to get 7th back from, where did he get back on track? 13th, 12th, I don't know. Well, you know, you live and learn, don't you? But it is wet, you know, you can't expect it to be spot on. Even the top boys, well, apart from LVO, I didn't actually see spin a wheel up. You know, everyone had a little bit of a zup, zup, zup. Right, so we've probably got about a 5-minute break. So what I'm going to do is He's nipped to the toilet. Hang on, peeps. Just make all the noise in the world. Then I'll be spamming my chat. Back. I can see what you're doing now. Oh, thanks, Vortex. I don't know who you are. Gamer tags and people tags and YouTube tags. So many to remember. I want to go to Miami for the GP, Rob. I want to. Go see Crockett and Tubbs. Some of you lot won't even get that. Right, look at the last bit of cold coffee, people. Look, I do so many leagues and so many peoples that names like come in and go, and you've probably changed your gamer tag and your everything else and your YouTube and stuff. So, you know, you have to give me hints. Dude, right, Vortex, look, right. The memory's not what it used to be. The clue's in the name, brother. That's, you know. There's only so much room in there. Some stuff has to get shoved out to get new stuff in. Oh my God. Of course it is. You had a whole move named after you. I did just kind of click a little bit when I'm looking at the chat and it's going, Vortex, you still want to go Miami? I'm thinking, these two know each other. So yeah. Burnt Fry might be coming back, apparently. Is that right? Is that I'm hearing? Bulldozer or something. That's what I heard in the chat. Bob's not happy. But we all know Bob. I think, yeah, if I remember rightly, I think Bob put that up there. Did something like that. Did he make your wiki page or something? Do like Bob. He's an idiot, is Bob. He's my kind of idiot. Lobby settings just being changed there then. So yeah, race 2 is a dry race. Not as much sideways and back. Well, I say that, you never know. You never know what might happen. It's still a tricky circuit to get the power down on some of these turns. Turn 2 being uphill, off camber, little kink in it. Can send you a little bit sideways. So tyre settings being changed. Racing softs to racing mediums only in this race. There is a pit window, not before the end of lap 7 for race 2. 28 laps. They do only start with 70 litres of fuel. I bet you have, Rob. Huge list. Let's just get ourselves in this lobby so we don't miss the start of the race. Philo. What happened, Philo? What happened? I saw you and Britsberger having a bit of a close battle, and then you and Britsberger weren't having a close battle anymore at the back with brokenness. Britsberger more brokenness than you. A reverse grid for race 2 as well. Top 3 take over that extra weight from race 1. It is the success ballast. And again, they start from the back of the pack. That's what a lot of drivers don't really do, I suppose, you know. Do you practice with that extra weight on just in case you pick it up? Do you practice with all 3 weights? Do you just practice with the heaviest weight and kind of deal with it? Or do you just sack it off and I'll race at normal weight, and if I pick up the extra weight, I'll deal with it? I mean, if you're one of the front runners in the league and you're always taking a podium position, it's that strategic move that may play off in your favour. Just get that little bit of extra practice in with a slightly heavier car. I suppose if you don't get the practice, if you don't get the position, you stay with the light car anyway, don't you? So when you're doing Donington, Rob, well, and you, Vortex, when you're doing Donington, we're usually at Donington, do the GR3s, the truck racing. Did we do British Touring Cars Did we do British Touring Cars last year? I don't even know. Sorry, last year or the year before, I can't remember. Yeah, it's usually quite a good little turnout at Donington from the sim racing lot. There's myself, Chris Wall comes a lot of the time, D-Dot turns up, Lucky Bucky, yeah, there's a few. Sean comes. Ace Killer, where's he at the minute? Is he in the lobby screwing? Is he in the pit screwing at himself? Having a really poor race one, possibly. I blame the orange paint, Andre. That's what I'm blaming. It's too bright. Not like Fat Pickles look, which is respectable. It's not. It's glaring as well. So it'll be interesting to see what tyres people start on. Mediums or Brinky, softs for Brinks. Gecko is on a set of mediums, Britsburger is on the mediums, Jambu mediums, LVO on the mediums. I just missed Fat Pickles, so I know he's on the mediums, mediums for LVO, softs for Millerman. Softs on board for Philo as well. Vortex on a set of mediums. Bobby on a set of mediums. Ace Killer set of softs. So he'll start quite far up the grid in race 2. He'll be hoping to use those softs to his advantage. G Marge on the mediums for stint 1, and Potter is on the softs. Go, giving the ready shout then. Racing just about to get underway for race 2. You going there for the trucks? Right. As in the truck racing, yeah? Well, we'll probably see there, because obviously, you know, Team Oliver Racing, and here we are. Team Oliver Racing trucks and stuff. Throbbing Corvette of Potter. Yeah, it's Potter's doing the lobby sponsor as well, the league sponsor. Got a bit of headlock. Oi! Gives you your images. Put your name behind this. Or else. I don't know what the or else was, but it was obviously enough. Here we go then, race 2 just about to get underway. Britsburger's going to lead us away after a terrible race 1, ending up in the pits. Philo's second, Vortex Racing third. Big piles of wheel spin still from the drivers as they try to get away. Not a great start by Gecko. So they get through turn 1 cleanly, yes they do. Ace Killer 5th position for G6. Just see how they get on through this next turn. A little bit wide there for Brinky, side by side with Fat Pickles. Fat Pickles didn't have a lot of space either, he had a Jambu next to him. Right, it's just starting to stretch out now. Let's get ourselves for a run down through the order. Britsburger leading, then Philo second, Millerman third, Ace Killer in 4th, Vortex Racing 5th, Bobby 6th, Phil G in 7th, Pot in 8th, Gecko Racer 9th, G Marge 10th, Jambu in 11th, Fat Pickles 12th, LVO in 13th, and Brinky 14th. That's a great start by Brinks. Also just struggling with that little bit of extra weight. Gap starting to develop between himself and Fat Pickles. Fat Pickles going for a throw up the inside of Jambu there. Has that worked? Oh, where are they? Side by side, a little bit of contact. Jambu does hold it, but unfortunately Fat Pickles gets through, and it does bring himself closer to the attacks from Brinky and LVO. LVO might be at the back of the pack here if Brinky pushes it. He is. That extra weight's costing him here as for LVO. See how that plays out. He is on the medium tyre as well, and the most weight. Britsburger getting it wrong. Philo getting past him. Race leader then. He's on the softs as well, is Philo. We're looking to use those, make the most of the medium tyres on board for Britsburger. Bobby up into 3rd position. Millerman 4th, Ace Killer 5th. Bobby's had a great start on the medium tyre as well on the M3. can't, we'll find you. We'll find you, Rob. We'll just send a sim racer in every direction, every marshal's point, until you turn up. In the background then, Ace Killer having a pop at Millerman for fourth. He's got the inside line through the penultimate turn. Oh, a little bit of door banging through there. Still side by side through this final turn. Ace Killer does get through, but Millerman's in a good spot here to get a toe. Swinging back on the inside of turn one. Not quite close enough. Oh, nearly contact between these two. Ace Killer slides himself over to this right hand side of the track, drops that toe for a split second on Millerman. Philo up front is already starting to pull a gap from Britzberger, but Ace Killer and Millerman look like they're closing the gap up on Bobby a little bit. What's the gap? 1.4 between Ace Killer and Bob. I'll keep an eye on that. Millerman still having a go at Ace Killer here though. Ace Killer makes that Nissan pretty wide coming into turn 3. Getting a little bit sideways out of turn 3 there for Millerman. Cost him a 10th. Yeah, Philo up front on those softs. He's just starting to pull away. He's probably got about a second, maybe a second and a half gap. Go and have a look. 1.5, there it is. A little bit wide through there. Be careful, you don't want to be picking up penalties here. Britzberger side by side as well. Where is he? Bob getting through into second then. Britzberger pushed down to third. I didn't know which M3 I was on board with, to be honest. And now Bob's chance to hunt down Philo. 2.1 seconds. Bob did alright in the on a set of mediums last week, week before. Yeah, did really well. Got a good result, Bob did. He's pulling that time down on Philo as well. Again, Philo's on that soft tyre. Has just picked himself up a penalty he's got to lose. Just helped Bob out a little bit. Bob's already pulling time over Britzberger. Ace Killer looking to close that gap up just 0.7 of a second. 0.2 back to... Oh! Millerman, turn 3, all wrong. Into the sand he goes. And has to wait for literally everybody to... go through. Oh, Brinky. Brinky's all the way down in 14th. Looks like you've had to go in the pits, maybe. 35 seconds down. That looks about a pit stop length. Millerman as well getting caught out there. Turn 3 ends up in the sand. Drops out of that battle with pretty much everyone for the time being. So, Philo. 2.2 seconds over Bob. Bob's managed to pick himself up a penalty as well. Britzberger is definitely coming under threat here from Ace Killer. Bob's gone massively wide through turn 1. Oh, Philo's got it wrong as well. Everyone's got to try and avoid him. The race leader bins it then. He's going to lose about 5 places here. He's got another driver harassing him as they head down up the hill back into turn 2. Ace Killer all over the back end of Britzberger here. Gecko Racer's got himself through into 4th as well. Not that far back. So Bobby now race leader. Killer closes up on Britzberger again. Bob start making a break. Not at the minute. Britzberger just keeping him within that 1 second gap at the minute. Ace Killer will want to be getting his way past ASAP if he wants to have a go at Bob. Get yourself past Britzberger first though. There's the gap to Bob in front, still at a second. First and second a little bit squirrely out of turn, the penultimate turn, the last turn, sorry. Getting words out. That gives Ace Killer a chance to close up. Not enough to have a go through turn 1. It's a good exit here. Not as good as you want. Britzberger pulls away a little bit. Close enough though, Ace Killer. He's already swinging out to go for that inside line into turn 2. Outbreaks Britzberger as well through there. Through he goes then, Ace Killer. Does that give Britzberger a chance down into turn 3? Is Ace Killer going to make that Nissan wide again this time? Britzberger thought about it, he thought about it. He's going to have to hold on to 3rd position for now. Ace Killer up into 2nd then. Gecko Racer 4th, Philo 5th. After his little off-track action. Potter McPot in 6th, right behind him. Phil G just a second back from that fight as well in 7th. Fat Pickles 1.9 seconds back in 8th. Yes, what happened? Fat Pickles. G Marge all over the back end of Fat Pickles. Jambu again tucked into the rear wing of G Marge's Mercedes in 10th. LBO Tricks has managed to gain control of that Jaguar with the extra weight on, pulled a couple of positions. We have seen Millerman go off track. Looks like Vortex may have been off track or in the pits, and Brinky I think came in the pits. Possibly to LBO's advantage, but he has got other drivers he's closing up on here. Who's that? G Marge. Just go through. G Marge just drops a penalty through there, gives LBO another position up into 10th then. He's not that far back from Jambu. Fat Pickles just up the road as well. So back up front, Bobby still leading, 1.2 seconds over Ace Killer. Managed to pull a second over Britzberger as well, has Ace Killer. Britzberger now got Gecko Racer to think about closing up, and just in the background there, Potter McPot goes for a move on the inside of Philo into turn 3. Ooh, keeps control of the big heavy Corvette. To 5th he goes, takes that place off of Philo. On the soft tyres, Philo on the soft tyres. Still struggling here, Philo, to gain control of this Jag on the softs. Phil G now tucked under his rear wing in 7th, looking for a position. Let's get ourselves on board with a bit of Phil G, looking at these two having a battle. Towards turn 1 they come. Oh, Phil G. Just had to take avoiding action there to not take out Philo. It's a good move as well. Not on his, not for his race, but yeah, very quick reactions there to not take out Philo. Philo trying to lose his penalty and have a go at Potter at the same time. Potter holds that 5th though. Philo gets a little bit tail happy again out of turn 2. Holds that 6th though. Phil G in 7th. Fat Pickles in 8th. Just 1.7 seconds back now as well is Fat Pickles. Jambu 9th. LBO Tricks right with him then in 10th. Still got G Marge for company in 11th. G Marge drifting it through there. What can LBO salvage from this race? Struggled early on. Millerman in 12th. Vortex Race in 13th. Brinky in 14th. Yeah, struggled the M6s here tonight. Big, long, heavy things. Bobby's not managed to fully disappear yet. Still just 1.3 now, 1.4 seconds off of Ace Killer. Is Ace Killer going to be able to close that gap up? He is on the soft himself. You can see they're starting to show a little bit more wear on board than Bob's mediums. To lap 9 of 28. could probably push a set of softs for maybe 17, 18 minutes. Still got a few minutes life left in them as Ace Killer, but Britzberger's on the mediums, Gecko is on the mediums. A lot less wear on these tyres. These boys will be running a little bit longer. Pot then 5th, managed to pull a bit of a gap from Philo in 6th. Fat Pickles still just 1.8 seconds back. He's lost another 10th. Could have still all come back for him though. LVO into 8th. G Marge 9th. Millerman in 10th. Phil G, what's happened? In the chat later, but Phil G's got all sorts of damage on, so he's got to come in the pits. Will he ditch the soft to go for the mediums? I'll have to wait and see. Millerman has also come in the pits. Oh, Vortex Racing just getting it back on track through the final turn. It's a big chunk of penalty for the trouble as well, as does Brinky. Both M6s getting that final turn a little bit wrong. Jambu then 12th, been in the pits, fresh set of racing softs on board for Jambu. Phil G not getting repaired by the looks. Oh no, he's taking on board fuel, yes he is, so we should see him back out on track. Millerman already released, so Bobby's still leading, but that gap has come down to a 2nd between himself and Ace Killer. Still pulling time over Britzberger actually as Ace Killer. Playing into Ace Killer's hand at the minute, but again his soft tyres are going to start hurting him soon. There you go, just getting a little bit squirrely out of the final turn. It's that gap down to less than a 2nd between himself and Bob though. Getting a bit of a tow along here. If he can get a good exit out of here and get a good tow down this straight towards turn 2. Not enough, unfortunately. Gap stretching back up to a 2nd. Got Gecko closing up on Britzberger though. Potter in 5th will want any kind of battle from any of these boys in front. Let me close that gap. It's 2.9 seconds down at the minute. Philo from that battle. Fat Pickles in 6th, then LVO 7th. G Marge in 8th, Vortex 9th, Brinky 10th, Philo in 11th. Been in the pits, a fresh set of softs on board for Philo. Jambu has just come out of the pits a lap ago, 12th. Millerman 13th, fresh set of mediums on board for him. Phil G, damage repaired, fresh set of softs on. Now it's on for Phil G. 8 seconds back from Millerman. He's a whole minute back from Bobby. He's picking up penalties as well. What can Phil G do for the end of this race? Britzberger's had a stormer of a lap somewhere, and Gecko with a couple of tenths in on Ace Killer. Mistake, that's probably why. He still keeps himself in touch with Bob though for now. He's almost out of fuel. That's Bob like for fuel. He's out of fuel as well, so they'll both be coming in at the end of this lap. I think it looks like everybody's going to be in at the end of this lap if they didn't come in the lap before. Potter's managed to pull another 3 tenths in on these boys, 4 tenths now. What's his fuel looking like? Oh, he's almost out of fuel, so won't be able to gain anything in the pit stop window with slightly more in his tank. So he's gone 17, yeah. 18 minutes by the time he comes in. Everybody's going to peel in now. Potter comes in. Britzberger. Oh, Britzberger's got a little bit of fuel on, so he stays out for an extra lap. Sneaky, sneaky fat pickles bro. Britzberger. Why did I say Britzberger? Elvio Tricks also stops out for another lap. Tyre's not looking too bad either. Lots of drivers in the pits this lap then. Brinky in himself. Jambu's been in. Millerman's been in. Phil G has been in. Vortex Racing has been in. So Fat Pickles is currently leading this race. He's got 3 seconds over Elvio Tricks. Both drivers almost out of fuel though. They will have to come in at the end of this lap. So Philo gets himself into 3rd. There's Bobby and Ace Killer battling it out for that well, provisional top spot. Bobby's taken on a full tank, Ace Killer's taken on a full tank, whereas Philo in front, although he's currently sitting in front of these boys, he has got a penalty and only half a tank of fuel, so he'll have to stop again. Oh, Ace Killer's got turn 3 a little bit wrong. He's dropped that fight between himself and Bobby, puts himself in danger with Gecko Racer and Britzberger and Jambu. Ultimate Pot lost a bit of time through that pit stop. Now 2.8 seconds down, a couple of tenths down. Medium tyre as well this stint. You do have to use both compounds, so Fido's still got to put a set of mediums on at some point. Fat Pickles, you brave man, and you Elvio. Going for another lap, are you? Didn't think it was possible, but here we are. I'm sure they're flapping a little bit, hoping they've got their strategy spot on. Spinning the rears up, Fat Pickles, wasting that fuel. Managing to get to the halfway point then, Fat Pickles and Elvio. Not quite for everyone else, a lap or 2 earlier. In goes Fat Pickles then, in goes Elvio. They're going to come out in relation to Philo, Bobby. What's happened to Ace Killer? Ace Killer's got it wrong somewhere else again. He's lost that position to Gecko Racer and Jambu. Now under pressure from Britzberger. Britzberger's having a look. Backs off into the penultimate turn. As I think about it, into the final turn, Ace Killer has to go slightly bit defensive as I think about having to go at Jambu at the same time. Medium tyre this stint for Ace Killer though, so slightly slower. What is softs on board for Jambu. I'm on a couple of laps as well, and softs on board for Britzberger as well behind him. So I think it's Britzberger really he's got to worry about, because Jambu's tyres are starting to go off already. Philo now leads this race a second over Bob. It's a shame for Ace Killer, who's starting to pile the pressure on Bobby. So yes, Gecko Racer into 3rd then. Jambu 4th, Ace Killer still 5th, Britzberger 6th. Fat Pickles, I was going to say he was 7th, but Potts just said, nope, I'm having that. Potter gets himself into 7th, then Fat Pickles in 8th. Elvio 9th. Marge 10th, Millerman in 11th, Phil G closing up on him in 12th. Be a good little bit of a battle between these two. Brinky in 13th, he's 8 seconds back though, unfortunately. Vortex Racing another 10 seconds back from Brinky. Everyone picking up penalties, cutting that final turn a little bit too tight. Philo then holding 0.6, Bobby's got a second. They are all closing up as well. Just 1.2 seconds between the top three. Big gap back to 4th for Jambu, 5 seconds. Still just in the background, Britsberger does get himself past Ace Killer. Soft tyre versus the medium there. To work out in Britsberger's favour. The M3, like I say, does seem to be very, very stable. Fat Pickles managed to squeeze his way back past Potter. Got it wrong somewhere there, Potter. Having a go back at Fat Pickles though, looking for that position. LBO in 9th, 2.5 seconds back, also out on the soft tyre. Phil G's already past Millerman. Maybe a slight mistake from Millerman. G's already pulled a second plus. Again in that M3. Millerman 12th, then Brinky 13th, Vortex 14th. Top three. Jag versus BMW versus Ford Mustang here. Bobby having a look at Philo. Philo's going to hold the inside line. Bobby's got his nose next to him. Gecko Racer could just look for a way through here. Both drivers trying to lose the penalty. Gecko slots up the inside of Bob. Can he get the power down? Not enough. Position stay as they are then. Philo now with a 1 second penalty. Down into turn 3 then. Bob has another look at Philo. He does chuck one up the inside here. Philo loses a little bit of his penalty. Gets himself back into the slipstream of Bob as much as he can. Gecko Racer unfortunately unable to take advantage of that, but now has a look at Philo. Left the door open a little bit there, Philo. Now that little complex then down towards these last couple of turns. Gecko closing up on Philo. Soft tyre versus medium. A little bit wide there for Philo. Is he going to pick up another penalty for that? Wide on the exit as well. Gecko should be able to get this one. Keeps himself well out of the danger zone. Yeah, 2.5 seconds for Philo. He's got to try and lose then. Whilst battling it out for currently second, but for how much longer? Wide through turn 1 there as well. Gain penalties for that. Oh, shut up. He takes another half a second, so nearly 3 seconds then, Philo. And it allows Gecko to go through while he takes that time down of his penalty. Keeps himself in touch with Gecko as well. So he'll be able to utilise the toe to try and keep himself in touch with these two. Bob is already starting to stretch a little bit of a gap out himself up front. What tyres are you on, Bob? You're on the soft tyres. Looking alright as well, they are, as are Geckos. Philo's got to try and hang on to these two though and drop that penalty. So Britsberger into 4th and Jambu 5th. Fat Pickles into 6th. Ace Killer 7th. What's happened to Potter? LVO Tricks in 8th, Potter 9th. Potter slowly falling down the order. G Marge in 10th, not that far back from Potter either, 1.8 seconds. Phil G in 11th, having a little bit of a race of his own, 14 seconds in front to G Marge and 7.3 back to Millerman. Brinky just 1.7 seconds back from Millerman. the mistake maybe from Millerman. Chappie also comes in the pits this lap. Vortex Racing, he's come in and had another stop as well, fresh set of softs on. So back up front, Bob holds onto that top spot. Gecko second. Philo. More penalty, that was 2.1. He dropped it from 3 seconds, or 2.9 down to 2.1. Just picked up more. And losing time to Gecko in front, 1.4 seconds. Fat Pickles in fourth, and Ace Killer back up into fifth. Half a tank. LVO in sixth. Right behind him though, he's got Britzberger in seventh, pretty close. Ultimate Pot, 2 seconds down in eighth. G-March has closed that gap up down to 0.6. Let's go for a little bit of a chase cam with G-March. He's closing up on Potter. It is medium tyre versus soft here. Soft on board with G-Marge. Britzberger dives in the pits this lap. Everyone moves around a couple of positions then. G-Marge unable to close that gap up on Potter. Those last couple of turns, gets a good turn one though. Also gets a good turn one, gets a good drive out. Oh, LVO tricks up the inside of Ace Killer just there. Let's just go and find out what's happening here. Goes a little bit deep though, ends up on the outfield. Gives Ace Killer that fifth back. Again, carrying the most weight here is LVO. That could just be catching him out. Away a little bit more. Back on the hunt for Fat Pickles in front for Ace Killer. So top two neck and neck then as they come through to end lap 20. Eight laps remaining. Bobby leads by 0.4 of a second over Gecko. Fuel wise, half a tank on board for both drivers on the soft tyre as well. Philo now 3.8 seconds back, almost out of fuel. He did only take half a tank on at his stop, so he'll have to come in, stick a fresh set of boots on, get some fuel and see where he ends up. Still got penalties to lose as well, has Philo. Fat Pickles in fourth, 5 seconds down. Half a tank on board still. Ace Killer and LVO Tricks side by side again. LVO Tricks gets through into fifth, then Ace Killer in sixth. So Ace Killer going to have a go in turn 3. LVO holds the inside line. Ace Killer looks to run around the outside. It's going to be a difficult one for him. Goes for the switchback. No, door's shut. LVO keeps that one closed. Ultimate Pot 7th then. All sorts of pressure here from G-Marge. Almost pushing Potter through turn 5. Backs off into these last couple of turns. Go up this start finish straight. Close enough. Goes for the move. Slings himself past Potter. Potter goes a little bit wide. It keeps the power down. Holds on to 6th. Picks himself up a penalty though for the trouble. close enough. Potter's giving him plenty of room though. He does have a go on the exit at turn 2. And the run down towards turn 3. G-Marge has just got the advantage. Potter McPot will try and run it around the outside, I'm sure. Side by side as they head down towards turn 4 then. Can Potter keep it? Can't, has to back off, so G-Marge does get into 6th then. Potter McPot 7th for the time being. Still got a few laps left to try and gain these positions back, so Bobby and Gecko still neck and neck. Bob's tyres looking a little bit worse for wear though. Gecko's done well. He's not worn his tyres out anywhere near as much as Bob. Fat Pickles into 3rd position then. Still got a big blob of fuel on as well. 5 laps remaining. LVO into 4th. Ace Killer in 5th. G-Marge now just 1.7 seconds back from Ace Killer. Pot 7th, still trying to hang on to G-Marge, get that position back, losing penalties as well. Philo then another 15 seconds down, still grabbing big handfuls of penalty. Now puts himself under pressure from Britsberger. He's going to have to lose that penalty. Leaves plenty of room there. Britsberger almost up the inside, but Philo gets the power down, loses a bit of his penalty through there as well. On to 8th for now then does Philo. Again, Britsberger having another look into turn 3. Philo's just picking up penalties on every lap at the minute. Yeah, it's practice makes perfect, mate. I'm telling you, if you get the opportunities, just jump on every night, literally every night there's a race lobby. Hanging on to this 8th by the skin of his teeth at the minute. Britsberger all over the back of him. That's a fresh set of softs on board for Britsberger as well. Good position here. Gets the run on Philo up the start-finish straight. Throws himself up the right-hand side. Just lets it run deep though, holds onto it. Good move by Philo. Britsberger then has to hold on to 9th. Right, let's go and see what's happening in front. Gecko has taken the lead of the race off of Bob. I was keeping my eye on that, and then split second I look away, he makes a move. Bob's keeping himself just in check, but again his tyres are in agony at the minute versus Gecko's. So if Bob can't hang on to him, it'll be a job well done for Bob. 9.1 seconds down in 3rd. LVO another 2.8 in 4th. Ace Killer 4.5 seconds down in 5th. G-Marge is closing that gap, 1.3, taking almost half a second out of Ace Killer. Potter McPot another 2.6 seconds down. He's picked up another penalty, almost lost it though. Philo still got penalty, still got Britsberger filling his rear view mirror. Set of racing mediums on board to play with. Britsberger has another look up the inside into this penultimate turn, but backs out. Again, has another good run on him up the start-finish straight. Backs out on the run in though. He's going to allow Philo to stay in front. Oof, a little bit of contact between the two. Want. No, Bobby can't hang on. He's driving the life out of that thing with those tyres, and it's costing him 2.2 seconds now, the gap between himself and Gecko. Fat Pickles, again, 7.3 seconds back, so he does pull that 2 seconds gap, so it's all Bob's doing. LVO Gecko still 2.9 back. Not able to close the gap up on Fat Pickles. Ace Killer not able to close the gap up on LVO either. G Marge, on the other hand, is doing quite well on those softs. They're not in the best of conditions, but he has got that gap. Well, it was 0.7 between himself and Ace Killer. It's at a second at the minute. Both drivers a little bit squirrely out of the final turn. Ace Killer throws himself over to the pit wall to drop the toe for G Marge. Just under a second then into turn 1. Mercedes looking pretty stable through here as well. Gap down to 0.7. Not close enough to make a move into turn 2, but good enough to close the gap up again. Down to 0.4. Ace Killer does get a slightly better drive out of turn 2. G Marge just outside of that attacking range. Oh, Ace Killer getting a little bit sideways through turn 3. Nowhere for G Marge to go though. His tyres giving out as well. Keeps himself right with Ace Killer on the way through turn 5 and 6 here. Gap at 0.3. Can he hold on to it? Big gaps all over on the track really. There's another little battle happening just behind. We're going to look at that in a second. Again, both drivers getting a little bit squirrely. Ace Killer again drops that toe for G Marge. Needs to think about that. Get himself right behind Ace Killer. Use any advantage he can. Again, just keeps it. Oh, closes right up. He's going to get it here at turn 2. Swings himself out to the right hand side of the track. Ace Killer not getting the greatest run out of turn 1 then. Run up the hill. G Marge backs out, leaves Ace Killer to run through. It could have been yours then, G Marge. Again, gets another good run on Ace Killer. Can make you go the long way round, G Marge. Ace Killer makes that Nissan as wide as it can possibly be again. You run down to turn 3, you want it, you've got to go around the outside, G Marge. Which he attempts to do, but again, just runs out to those marbles. Ace Killer holds that 5th. Lap 27 of 28 as well. Everybody's tyres coming to the end of their life. Gecko Racer now got 2.9 seconds up front over Bobby. Bobby's still trying to hang on to this BMW with those beaten up tyres, and struggling he is. Fat Pickles is now 4.8 seconds back. It is going to be final lap now. Bob's going to do everything he can to keep that thing pointing in a straight line. LBO Tricks losing time to Fat Pickles, but holding plenty of time over Ace Killer. There is G Marge right on him again. Now G Marge tucks himself into the slipstream, but Ace Killer swaps himself back over to the racing line. Battle on track, but can't miss the race leaders coming across the track, coming across the finish line. Defensive again for Ace Killer. G Marge going the long way round if he wants it. It's a mirror full of Mercedes for Ace Killer. Right, let's get ourselves on board with Gecko. 6.3 seconds lead then. Bob could lose this second here. Fat Pickles all over the back end of him. Both these drivers' tyres are looking pretty beaten up. Bob's are in an absolutely awful state though. We'll keep an eye on race leader Gecko. Just a final turn to go then for Gecko. He could probably spin it round and get across the line before Bob does. Goes across the line to take the win then for Gecko. Bob, has he held it? Yes he has. Bob takes second then. Fat Pickles takes third. I thought you were backwards on that final turn then, Bob. LVO comes home for 4th position. G Marge does get past Ace Killer, takes 5th. was looking like it was going to happen. Ace Killer takes 6th then. It's a good effort, Ace Killer. Potomac Pot takes 7th, losing penalty just as he crosses the line. Britzberger takes 8th. Philo takes 9th, so Britzberger did get himself past Philo in the end. Philo's racked up every penalty tonight. He still crosses the line with some. Jambu takes 10th. A little bit of front end damage on board for Jambu at the end of this one. Phil G 11th. Yeah, some big gaps developed. Brinky through that final turn for 12th. Millerman pretty close to him, so Millerman just finishes right behind him for 13th. And Vortex Racing, too busy in the chat, ends up 14th. Only just 5 seconds left on the race timer before we all got kicked out. So that was round 4, races 1 and 2 done and dusted tonight. Some good racing, awesome racing in that wet race, considering it was wet. Bob doing well to hold on to that second against, I mean, that gap was massive. It was 9 seconds down to 7 seconds, and then it was 4 seconds, and then what? Yeah, good results then. I forget where we're at next week. I always forget where we're at next week. Doesn't matter. Turn up. It's going to be the same boys racing, so you know, expect the same kind of thing. So that's it from the Team Oliver Racing Gr3 League for tonight, people. I myself am back on Friday night with the return of the GTTCC from MRC. Back again on Sunday night. GTTCC is 9 o'clock, by the way, Friday. P1 Gr3 League on Sunday night. That's 9 o'clock as well. And then back on Monday night for the Tanso Racing, Chewit Racing Mini Cooper Cup. And then same time, same place next week for round 5 of the Team Oliver Racing Gr3 League. That is going to be about it. So if you want to help my channel out, there's a couple of ways you could do it. Get yourself over to buymeacoffee.com/dartsmoker and drop donations, but I'd much rather you actually got hold of me at dartsmoker@googlemail.com. Through me an email, and for a similar price as a donation on Buy Me a Coffee Malarkey, you can actually get some stickers for your money. So, you know, I'd much rather you did that. And I got t-shirts as well, so hit me up if you want any of that, all at dartsmoker@googlemail.com. Big shout out to the race sponsors, Team Oliver Racing. Big shout out to the channel sponsor as well, Woody's Wondrous Chilies. And that's about it. I hope you've liked what you've watched, people. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dart Smoker. I'm out of here.